Hey guys, welcome to the Mental Health Healing vlog. On this vlog, we're going to be talking about getting out of depression and what that looks like for me. There's 5 points I want to talk about today. The number one point is acknowledgement, and basically what that looked like for me. It's going to look different for everybody, and everybody's 5 steps or 10 steps is going to be different. But for me, it was acknowledgement, and it was acknowledging that depression was actually real in my life, regardless of how many people were telling me about it. And I knew I should have known about it, but really when I looked myself in the mirror and said, okay, 18 to 20 hours a day sleeping, that's not legit. That's not how you live a successful life, and this is not okay. And these are signs of depression. You know, when my thoughts were really slow and I wasn't connecting with people, I wasn't socializing, that is all depression. Any other things are that also. I could sit here and talk for days about the symptoms of depression, but number one was acknowledging the fact that I was ill. The point I want to talk about here, guys and girls, is seeking help. First you acknowledge it, and then you realize, okay, this is where I'm at. But to get out of the hole, you're down in a trench, you're down in a 50-foot hole, and you got to climb your way back up, and there's no ladder up the side of the wall. You need help, and you need help sometimes pretty fast and pretty thoroughly to get your life in order. So you need to reach out to the people you trust. And sometimes that circle's very small, and sometimes you have to create that circle if you don't have it. If your family's not there for you, if your friends aren't there for you, if everyone's given up on you, you've got to create new connections in your life and build that moving forward. And then once you've seek the help, then you've got to let these people in. If you seek the help and ask for the help and you have 5 to 12 people in your corner, which is tremendous, and that's all you're ever going to need, if you don't let them in, nothing's going to change. You're going to remain the same. You got to bring your walls down, and you got to start to trust people and trust the people in your corner that you know you can trust. I'm a type of guy that never used to trust anybody, but I've learned to trust until I cannot trust. So I trust a person until they break trust and I can't trust again. But usually you can go with your instinct and go with your intuition and trust the people that you need to let in. The fourth thing we're going to talk about here is, they're all important, but this is really important. You got to do the work. And when I say do the work, it doesn't mean be the hardest worker on the planet and go out and do the biggest thing. Doing the work means being consistent in what you do, number one, and choosing small little things like making your socks, folding your laundry every time the load of laundry's done, loading the dishwasher and unloading the dishwasher when it's ready to be unloaded. Simple habitual tasks that are gonna give you more confidence. So doing the work, when I say do the work, I don't mean do the work and it's all work. No, be strategic in the work you do. Get strategic and do the small things that are gonna build character, that are gonna build confidence. What I'm trying to say is that work matters, but just don't take too much of it and just be strategic with it. Point 5 I want to make, after doing these things, you can start to thrive in life. Now, I said my 5 points are kind of what works for me and what's for me. For you, mental health healing comes in many different forms. So for you, the 5 or the 7 or the 9 or the 10 or the 11 things that led you to heal your mind and to become a more rounded person could be way different. But eventually you'll get to a point where you thrive and where you'll go out and you'll make random connections and lifelong connections that you never even thought you could make, and you'll start being a different person than you ever imagined you could be. You'll start experimenting with different things that you ever thought you would, and life begins to be exciting again, and maybe for the first time ever it's exciting. So there's a lot to look forward to. You got to do the work.